Electrical arc faults, or AFCs, can occur when there is a loose connection or damage to electrical wiring. These faults produce an electrical arc that can ignite nearby combustible materials, potentially causing a fire. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, also known as NFPA 70, mandated the installation of AFCI protection in specific areas of newly constructed homes, including bedrooms, starting in 2008. This requirement was based on research indicating that AFCI were a significant fire hazard in these areas. The city of Henderson, Nevada, requires the installation of AFCI protection on all outlets in bedrooms, regardless of whether the outlets were installed before or after the NEC mandate. This is because AFCI can occur in any outlet, regardless of its age or condition. Bed linens and other materials commonly found in bedrooms are highly flammable and can easily ignite from an AFCI. Furthermore, bedrooms are often occupied by sleeping individuals who may not be able to detect or respond quickly to a fire. It's important to understand the difference between AFCI and GFCI breakers. AFCI breakers protect against electrical arc faults, while GFCI breakers protect against ground faults, which occur when electricity flows through an unintended path. In this case, AFCI protection is required because it specifically addresses the fire hazard posed by electrical arc faults in bedrooms. To summarize, the city of Henderson, Nevada, requires AFCI breakers for all outlets in bedrooms, including pre-existing outlets, to mitigate the potential fire hazard associated with electrical arc faults in these areas. Electrical arc faults pose a significant fire risk. The NEC, starting in 2008, mandated AFCI protection in new home bedrooms. Henderson extends this to all bedroom outlets because arcs can happen anywhere. Bedroom materials are flammable, and occupants may be asleep. AFCI breakers specifically address arc faults, unlike GFCIs, which handle ground faults. Therefore, Henderson requires AFCI breakers in all bedrooms to prevent potential fires from electrical arcs. Electrical safety is important. Electrical arc faults, often shortened to AFCI, are a serious concern because they can lead to fires. These faults arise from loose connections or damaged wiring, generating electrical arcs that can easily ignite nearby flammable materials. Recognizing this danger, the National Electrical Code, or NEC, which is also known as NFPA 70, took action. Starting in 2008, the NEC mandated the installation of AFCI protection in specific areas of newly constructed homes. Bedrooms were among the areas included in this mandate. The decision to require AFCI protection in bedrooms was based on research highlighting that AFCI were a major fire hazard in these sleeping areas. This is the backdrop for understanding why a city like Henderson, Nevada, would require AFCI protection. The city of Henderson, NV, goes a step further by requiring AFCI protection on all outlets in bedrooms. This requirement applies regardless of when the outlets were initially installed. In other words, even if the outlets predate the NEC mandate, they still need AFCI protection. There are three main reasons for this comprehensive approach. Firstly, AFCI can occur in any outlet. The age or condition of the outlet does not eliminate the risk of an arc fault. Secondly, bedrooms often contain highly flammable materials. Bed linens, curtains, and other textiles are common in bedrooms and can easily ignite if exposed to an electrical arc. Thirdly, bedrooms are often occupied by people who are sleeping. This means that individuals may not be able to quickly detect or respond to a fire that starts in their bedroom. Given these factors, it makes sense that Henderson would prioritize AFCI protection in all bedrooms to minimize the risk of fire. It is very important to differentiate between AFCI and GFCI breakers. AFCI breakers are designed to protect against electrical arc faults, which are the type of faults that can lead to fires. GFCI breakers, on the other hand, are designed to protect against ground faults. Ground faults occur when electricity flows through an unintended path, such as through a person. While GFCI breakers are important for preventing electrical shock, they do not protect against arc faults. In the specific case of bedroom outlets, AFCI protection is required because it directly addresses the fire hazard posed by electrical arc faults. GFCI protection, while still valuable in other areas of the home, is not sufficient to mitigate the risk of fire in bedrooms. Therefore, the city of Henderson, Nevada, requires AFCI breakers for all outlets in bedrooms. This requirement extends to pre-existing outlets as well. The goal is to minimize the potential fire hazard associated with electrical arc faults in these areas. By requiring AFCI protection, Henderson aims to create safer sleeping environments for its residents. The requirement of AFCI breakers is to make sure there is no fire. AFCIs interrupt power when an arc fault is detected, preventing the arc from becoming a fire. Electrical arc faults can develop due to various factors, including damaged wiring, loose connections, or even normal wear and tear on electrical components. Because these faults can occur in any electrical circuit, regardless of age, the NEC and local jurisdictions like Henderson have implemented AFCI requirements to protect occupants. The NEC regularly updates its electrical safety standards to incorporate new technologies and address emerging hazards. The expansion of AFCI requirements over the years reflects the growing understanding of the dangers posed by arc faults. The city of Henderson is likely following these updated NEC guidelines or has determined that a higher level of protection is necessary for its residents, given local conditions or fire statistics. Bedrooms present a unique fire risk because they often contain a high concentration of combustible materials such as bedding, clothing, and furniture. Additionally, people are often asleep and less aware of their surroundings, making them more vulnerable to fire. The combination of these factors makes bedrooms a priority for enhanced electrical safety measures like AFCI protection. It is important to recognize that AFCI and GFCI breakers serve different purposes. While both protect against electrical hazards, they do so in different ways. AFCI breakers detect arc faults, which are characterized by erratic electrical discharge, while GFCI breakers detect ground faults, which occur when electricity leaks to ground. GFCI breakers are typically required in areas where there is a risk of water exposure, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor outlets. AFCI breakers are more focused on preventing fires by detecting and interrupting arc faults. In summary, the city of Henderson's requirement for AFCI breakers in all bedroom outlets, including pre-existing ones, is a proactive measure to enhance fire safety and protect residents from the dangers of electrical arc faults. Electrical arc faults are hazardous because they can cause fires. The NEC has mandated AFCI protection in new home bedrooms since 2008. Henderson requires AFCIs in all bedrooms to prevent fires, even for older outlets. Bedrooms contain flammable materials and occupants are often asleep, increasing fire risk. AFCIs protect against arc faults, while GFCIs protect against ground faults. Henderson requires AFCIs for fire prevention in bedrooms. The purpose of AFCI is fire prevention, electrical safety, and adherence to codes. It's also important to understand electrical hazards and protection. Electrical arc faults are a significant fire hazard. The National Electrical Code has mandated AFCI protection. Henderson, Nevada requires AFCI protection. AFCI protection applies to all bedroom outlets. AFC can occur in any outlet. Bedrooms contain flammable materials. People are asleep and may not be aware. AFCI breakers protect against electrical arc faults. GFCI breakers protect against ground faults. Henderson requires AFCI breakers to prevent fires.